Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I've got my December wrap up for you. Alright, so December I think is probably the month that I ended up reading the most amount of books, and most of them were holiday or Christmas novellas. So let's go ahead and just dive into everything that I read this month. And just a little final check-in on the number of books that I've read this year. Currently it's sitting at 111 and I'm in the middle of 2 more, so that'll be 113 books for the year, which is fantastic. That's more than I've read in a long time, and I'll be honest, I only got to that number because December was basically a sprint to see how many Christmas and holiday novellas I could get through. But yeah, let's dive into everything that I read this month. Alright, so first up I have Zero Happily Ever Afters. This was such a good book, and for being book number 4 in a series, this one left off in a fantastic place, and for the author to leave a little note at the very end saying that there's 2 more books coming in this series, fantastic no notes. I loved this. Getting to see Dorian and Milo add a new little member to their family as they kind of accidentally adopt a child. From one of Milo's cases involving a very, very bad coven of witches. Yeah, that was really sweet. This got 4.5 out of 5 stars, and this is a series I would highly recommend if you like a dark academia, but from the point of view of the teacher. Alright, so next up I have one of the first novellas that I read, which was One Winter with You. So this is a really cute holiday post-Christmas novella. This is following 2 friends, or 2 people who were kind of becoming friends in high school, but then, you know, family drama tore them apart because their families own rival coffee shops that are literally across the street from each other. But they live in a tiny town, and the tiny town puts on a scavenger hunt after Christmas every year, and they inadvertently get teamed up for the scavenger hunt, and they start reconnecting and maybe kindling a little bit of a romance. This was really sweet. This got 4 to 5 stars. Would highly recommend. Next up is the second of my Christmas novellas, which was Tied Up Under the Tree. This was a really fun, smutty, short holiday romance. This got 4 to 5 stars. It was really good. And next up, I finished one of my first physical reads for the month, which was Crown of Iron and Silver. This is such a good book. This is the third book in the Soulbound series, and it had a little bit of a holiday flavor to it. This one was just so good, and I love seeing Patrick and Jono just like getting to be in a relationship together, but also building their pack and, you know, starting to build a future together. This got 5 stars, and I would highly, highly recommend. Next up, I finished volume 2 of Covenant graphic novel. This was so good. This we got to see Sunny figuring out that he's maybe not all human, but also we got to see the exorcists as they deal with Sunny's weird demon things going on. And, you know, we got to see them being just really cool. This got a solid 4 to 5 stars, and I would highly recommend this series. The art is fantastic, the character work is really great, and again, would highly recommend. Next up, we are back into some of the holiday novellas. So next up I read Satisfying. It's a novella, but it's also like book number 5 in the Elite Protection series. This is following Connolly, who is a background character, and Jacob, who is the brother of another character from the series. They wake up after getting drunk at the holiday Christmas party in Vegas after they got drunk married. And like, it's very sweet, it's very holiday, it's very much them spending a holiday snowed in a tiny cabin. It's just really sweet and fun and holiday flavored smut. This got 4 to 5 stars, and this is a really great series if you're looking for something that's a dark romance with just like a little hint of something something. Next up I finished Santa's Elf. This is the first book in the Naughty Holidays series. This is a poly-romance, this is an Omegaverse poly-romance, and it was just really sweet. This got 4 to 5 stars. Next up I have Santa's Naughty Workshop, which is another Omegaverse romance. This one, I believe, is between Santa and an elf. This wasn't my favorite. This got 3.5 out of 5 stars. I have said it before, but Lorelei M. Hart, which is a author duo, I'm not a fan of their writing. It feels really disconnected, especially when they're writing with another author, so it's like 3 people writing one book. Felt like there was some disconnect in there somewhere. Next up I read Dancer. So this is it's set in the same world as Santa's Naughty Workshop, and apparently there's a huge like extended universe for this world, because every year I think this author duo sets up like a multi-author series for the year. This particular one is following Reindeer Shifters, as they find their person. Again, this is an Omegaverse romance. This one got 4 out of 5 stars. I really did like this one. Next up, I finished A Christmas Delivery. This is another holiday romance. This one is also Omegaverse. This one got 3.5 out of 5 stars. This one was something. This is one that I would recommend looking at trigger warnings before diving into this one because it is a little bit graphic. Next up, I read one of my favorite manga that I've read this year, and I wish I read this in time to include it in my favorite books of the year video, and that is Bite Marks and Fluorite. This is a really fun vampire, like it's a different take on like a vampire story. So our main character, Haru, is attacked and like on the brink of death, and our other character, Akihito, is a vampire and turns him. The vampire transformation within this story takes a very long time to happen, and it doesn't happen all at once. So newly turned vampires are very sought after because their blood is full of like life and things that vampires are really interested in and want. So Akihito is basically in charge of protecting Haru until Haru becomes a full vampire, and they kind of fall in love, and it's really, really sweet. And it could have used a little bit more world building and just like a little more something, but I honestly just really loved like the character work, and that's really the main focus. Also, this is a little bit of like neo-futurism or set in the very near future. It was really fun and sweet, and like I said, this is one of my favorite manga that I've read this year. This got 5 out of 5 stars. Would highly recommend, but not for those under 18. Next up, I read Warm with Him. This is a really short holiday romance following 2 people that were friends in high school that lost touch through college and into like their first few jobs and are both moving back to their hometown. So their parents decide that they need to reconnect, and they do, and it kindles a little bit of a crush that they had on each other, and it goes into way more than that, and they decide, oh, you were the person that I was missing. This got 4 to 5 stars, and it was just really sweet. Next up, I finished On the Incubus Nice List. This is a monster romance that is just really sweet, and like it's holiday smut, and it was just really fun. This got 4 to 5 stars. And then we are on to the books that I'm currently reading as of filming this video, the first of which is The Shots You Take. This is a Rachel Reid hockey romance, or like following 2 retired hockey players, one of whom just lost a parent and is deep in the grieving process, and the other, who they used to be best friends and roommates, they lost touch after heartbreak, and the other one is coming to comfort him, and it's them rekindling a friendship but also rekindling their romance that kind of broke them apart in the first place. And it's about coming out it's about a later in life coming out, and like it's really, really sweet and fun, and I would highly recommend checking the trigger warnings because this one does deal very heavily with grief and the loss of a parent. This is so good. This is definitely heading for a 5 stars, and especially with heated rivalry like in the back of my mind, Rachel Reid can do no wrong with a hockey romance. So I'm about 80% of the way through this, and it's one that I would highly, highly recommend. The other book that I'm currently reading as of filming this video is another holiday romance. I know it's after Christmas, but like I want to extend the holiday feels into January, so I'm currently reading Prancer, which is another book in the Reindeer Shifter Omegaverse romance. I think this is book 3. I don't know. They're all connected, but you don't have to read them in any particular order. This one is really good so far. I'm only about 25% in, and I'm loving it. So my favorite books of the month definitely have to go to A Crown of Iron and Silver and Bite Marks and Fluorite. Both of those were fantastic. I would highly, highly recommend. And I wish I had read them soon enough to get them on my favorites list for the year. But yeah, I hope you all had a lovely holiday season, and I hope you have a really wonderful New Year's. If you guys liked this video, don't forget the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys!